What about new music? Like, for instance, Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters, are coming out with a new record this year, and Dave Grohl's deciding to go to like 12 different studios across America to record each song individually. Do you think for any solo material, upcoming work that you're going to do, that you would ever do something like that, like a different approach to recording? And what do you think about bands that try these new things? Do you think it's kind of like a gimmick, or do you think it's actually something that's going to preserve rock and roll for the future?
I think rock and roll has to be explored. Every time you do a project, you have to try something new, or else you wind up just repeating the same things you've done over and over.
Right.
This new record that I'm working on, that I'm already writing on, I've already put together a list of probably 25 different musicians, different drummers, guitar players, singers, writers that are going to be part of it. And a lot of them are very well-known musicians that we're going to put together different little songs and projects and go into different studios and experiment and see how it works. I mean, it's one thing to be able to do a record with a standard fit band, you know, where everybody knows how to play, but you get a bunch of people in there that are very creative, and all of a sudden it turns into something that no one really envisioned or could conceive until you hear what it is. And to me, that's the fun of taking that blind leap of faith in the studio with people that you know and like and you have faith in, and turning out something really great. So I'm all in favor of all that rock and roll exploration. I think it's great. When
you wrote Hotel California, what did you know that it was going to be as huge as it has become? I mean, you guys, I think Michael Jackson still has the record for most records sold, but you guys are right below that as the greatest hits, the Eagles being the most sold record in the whole world. Did you know that, and Hotel California immediately is what I go to when I think of the Eagles. Did you know that that was going to be this explosive hit that was going to land the Eagles even more on the map than they were in the first place?
I don't think anyone starts out knowing that that's what's going to happen. You just write a lot of songs, write a lot of music, and you do the best you can to make the best records you can, put them out there, keep your fingers crossed, and see what sticks to the wall. For Hotel California, the lyric content and the concept of that record in combination with the musical arrangement turned out to be something really unique. There wasn't anything on AM radio like that at the time. It was all either dance music or hard rock or drippy ballads, and Hotel California is like 6.5 minutes long, and it's got this 2-minute guitar solo on the end, and you can't really dance to it. It's kind of a reggae track, and it stops in the middle and breaks down. It's like it has no real like format to it, you know. So it was one of those unique experiments that just happened to work because it was so unique. Right. I think there were 2 points in my life where I really realized the magnitude of what that song had done. One was in 1999, the RIAA awarded the Eagles an acknowledgement for the largest selling album of the 20th century. If you think of all the people that recorded the Beatles, Elvis Presley, the Stones, everybody, and we had received that award from the RIAA. And then secondly, I did a show for the United Nations in New York City, I guess a year and a half or so ago. There were about 600 heads of state, meaning presidents and secretaries of states, at this one show, and I walked out and played Hotel California. Now, half of the people in the audience didn't speak English. If you ever watch the UN, they've got those ear cups with translators on. They don't speak English. Right. But when I played Hotel California, they all knew the words. They were all singing along with it and gave me a standing ovation. It was like the whole world has been exposed to that song. I get text messages from a friend of mine who's in Argentina. He's sitting in a bar and says, "You want to hear a version of Hotel California from Argentina?" And he records this Argentinian band playing it, you know, with like acoustic guitars and stuff. So it's been just a phenomenon and a real honor to have been part of something that's been so worldwide accepted, you know.
Right. And I think that's the beauty of musicians. I mean, that's so neat. Like, all of us hope to do that with something in our life, and when it can be music and it can be shared with so many people. And even today, it's like some people make up reasons or what it means, what the song really means. I remember growing up, I asked my dad, I was like, what does Hotel California mean? Is it about the hotel? And my dad's like, no, it's about hell, you know. And I was like, but everybody has their own story to it, so people can translate it to how they fit it into their life. And
that's so really cool. What true art does. It leaves the person that's experiencing the room to put themselves and their concepts on it. You know, everybody says, "Oh, we were at the hotel in Cabo San Lucas. We went to the Hotel California." That's not the Hotel California. No one's ever been there. They claim that we wrote the song there. Nobody has ever been there. It's just a total bogus, fraudulent advertisement. And really the idea of what everybody in the world has been kind of pounded into their brains of what California is. When you say California, you think of beaches and bikinis and palm trees and Hollywood and the stars on Hollywood Boulevard and movie stars and that whole entertainment business. That's really what that song is about. It's the framework of what the concept of what hotel is about. Then once we had that foundation for that first song, nobody from the band was from California. We moved there from different states.
Right.
So we said, when we first got here and we had our first hit, we were the new kids in town. That song came out of it. And then after we had become a little jaded and experienced it, was Life in the Fast Lane. And then after a while you go, is this just wasted time? So a lot of songs came out of that concept of the existence of what everyone thought Hotel California was going to be when we got there.
And I didn't want to just focus on that, but I had to ask you because I know we're going to see it tonight, and it's just you co-wrote that song. It's just so great. And but the Eagles have had so many just badass hits. I'm so excited that you're in town with us tonight. And you are a 4-time Grammy winner.
That's right.
You are a New York Times bestseller.
Yes.
And you're good with a band that you started with in 1974, and your solo material is great too. You are just renowned. I just am so happy that you're here.
I'm so happy, and none of those accolades were ever expected. I was a very poor kid from a little dirt road in the South and picked up a guitar, and it led me through all this madness. So I'm happy to have been able to enjoy it.
Well, thank you for picking up the guitar that day, and thank you for coming through St. Louis on the soundtrack of Summer Tour.
Fantastic. It's my pleasure to be on K-Sheet.
Yes, thank you. Don Felder, former guitarist of the Eagles. Thanks, Learn.